Good morning from El Centro, California, and today we're making a run for the border. Our destination is San Felipe, which is about 2.5 hours below the border from Mexicali. I'm doing my pre-check on the motorhome today before we cross the border, and I noticed a problem. The inner rear tire on the right side has lost all its air. Just lost everything. So when I went to check the pressure, the valve stem extender, and keep in mind, I got rid of those steel braided ones because those were the worst possible invention ever. None of them ever really seemed to hold pressure for me, and I was always having tire pressure issues. But since I've gotten these new solid metal valve stem extenders, I've rarely had any problems. But in this case, I think I got it figured out. So right there, you see my valve stem cap. Beyond that, about 3 inches, is another extension. So this extension right here was loose onto the extension coming out of the wheel. So I got that all tightened up. I need to find an air compressor so I can put some air in there. I have a miniature air compressor, but that just wouldn't cut it for putting 100 pounds of pressure on a tire.
We are at the America's Tire Company now. As Ben told you, we need to air up our tire after some issue with the stem valve thing. Anyway, it doesn't open till 8, so we have a little time to kill. And we have a bunch of stickers, so we thought we'd put them on. The first one you're technically supposed to put on the outside of your rig so that people who are escapees will stop and help you, but we want one on here too, so we're gonna go ahead and put one on today. The next one is from Sedona. I think this one's really pretty. It was just gorgeous there. Highly recommend going there. This is from going to Glamis. This one Ben was not thrilled with. He thinks it's too, what did you say?
Trendy.
Trendy. But I think it's pretty. I picked it up in the Outer Banks that day that we got stuck waiting and waiting and waiting for the ferry. So I like it. All right, the next one is from our friends at Technomadia, actually. They're at next to.
Those are nice because they're small and they can fill in the spots.
The gaps.
Yeah. There it is. This board is looking really good.
It looks awesome.
I like that. Some of you may be wondering, do we feel that it's dangerous driving our motorhome into Mexico? I think Rebecca and I feel the same way about things, that we never really want to give in to fear, because you know, you will never get to try new things. Also, I can say that we're both fairly comfortable driving into Mexico. A little more comfortable in a car that's a little more agile compared to the motorhome. But, you know, I've driven into Mexico and Baja many times, and Rebecca's driven down to Rosarita many times. So we're fairly secure and comfortable there. But we're also going to be smart about it. So if you're, we'll call you a bad person, you know, the type of person who would do you harm, I'm going to generally associate those type of people to be night owls, to stay up late at night drinking. So that's why I'm going to drive through the busy city sections in the morning hours. Because if this theory holds true, and it has in the past, because I guess we've had safe adventures into Mexico, that any hoodlums would be sleeping off their intoxication from the night before. So we also are prepared. We have Mexican insurance, and we have researched our route. So we also just live for adventure, and this is definitely falls under the adventurous category. Some people wouldn't even do this at all, but this is kind of the stuff that we live for.
You can do things like this if you just practice common sense and be cautionary, pay attention to your surroundings, and do the research in advance and know what you're getting yourself into. And you make sure you go somewhere that's safe and not known to be a risk. So it's not that we just throw caution to the wind. we're thoughtful and prepared, and we take measured risks. So hopefully this pans out, and it always has so far. and we can go have some fun.
So we actually have some family members that are like our grandparents to us in a sense. They drive down about 5 hours south of the border about once a month, and they have a little place down there. So, you know, these people are, you know, we respect them, we trust their judgment. They're kind of, I was gonna say that Ken and Gloria are like a older version of us, or we're a younger version of them. You know, adventurous RVers, living life to the fullest. So yeah, you know, and they said, hey, that sounds like a good plan. Should be great. Let us know how it is. So that's just, you know, you can get hurt, you can have a car accident, you can get mugged, you can get robbed driving through LA or driving through Omaha, Nebraska. So anything can happen anywhere. And we just want to try new things, because ultimately, you know, you may be following our adventures because you're an RVer, but ultimately we are travelers. And this RV adventure is just fueling our need for travel right now. And we have some big things planned in the future. So this channel is going to go all different directions. All right, we are going to make our run for the border.
Nothing to declare, right?
Nothing to declare.
So we made it through customs. They did board the vehicle and ask to look inside. They asked us what kind of alcohol we had. They asked to see our registration, and they wanted to see that the VIN number matched it. And he asked where we were going and how long we were staying. Pretty simple. And now we've made it through, and these are our first glimpses of Mexico. About 100 kilometers left to go to get to San Felipe, and roads are great, and it's pretty barren so far. We're definitely still in the desert.
It's just been nice and uneventful the way we would want it to be. We're going through a very barren stretch of nothingness right now. I'm not sure if these are like an alkaline salt flat or nothing, where nothing grows there, but there is just nothingness.
We've come up on something that says it's a military checkpoint, so we'll let you know on the other side what that means. But we're guessing we're gonna have to stop and chat with someone of authority. We're getting really close. We're about 50 kilometers from San Felipe.
Well, that was one of the most unusual federale checkpoints I've encountered. The young man that came in pretty much came in, did some generic greetings with each other, and walked into our bedroom and proceeded to have a 5-minute conversation with his wife on the telephone. And it was not heated, but it was mildly, you know, husband and wife talking something out type of conversation. So yeah, that was rather unusual. But yeah, different generation. And also there were 3 guys there. One was holding an automatic rifle, and the other 2 were texting on their smartphones. Times really have changed.
Oh, it's gonna be tight in here.
Turn left, then your destination will be on the right.
I'm kind of glad we did not bring the trailer because there literally would have been no room to put it. So we have our side with the door, and it's a little tight, but it's really cool. And then here's our utilities side. The really neat part is we have our little picnic bench here, and coming on up, our own little cabana. This looks like a nice place to relax. It's shaded. Wow, I can jump right onto the roof of the motorhome if I wanted to. Decided to come into town and met some of our neighbors at Kiki's. There's Nancy and Mike from British Columbia, fellow travelers, and they were nice enough to give us a ride down into town so we could grab some lunch and get the margaritas flowing really quick. We stopped into Mariscos La Morena. We were able to negotiate free margaritas with the purchase of an entree. So that's the way you do it when you're in countries like this. Negotiate everything. And there we go. A free margarita with an entree. This is what it's all about, isn't it?
One of the guys on what? Yeah,
I'm never going home.
It's expensive.
So like always, we are going to share. And my dish that I picked out was camarones a la diabla, which is spicy shrimp with some only way to do it, corn tortillas. Don't do flour. Friends don't let friends eat flour tortillas in Mexico.
So I got the mixed cocktail. So it has all different kinds of seafood in it and avocado on the top and a really delicious tomato sauce.
That is just sexy looking food. I love it. Me and my adjectives.
Sexy looking food.
Yes, food can be sexy.
Mm-hmm. Good evening. We are back out and about from taking a little rest for the afternoon.
Felt good.
It did. And Carnaval is going on here.
Yeah, we heard it. The music
start to bump.
Bumping in the background.
So apparently there's good food, good music, some sights to see.
Really, we have no idea what to expect, but
we're gonna go take a look.
And I guess the celebration, aside from the parade, is over at the ball field, which looks to be only a few hundred yards away.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check it out.
Yep. Let's go. I see like some of those spotlights. I hear the bumping music over there. We have arrived here, and there's like some carnival games, some really good food. We're downwind from that. I can smell that from here. Okay, this food looks so good here. What do you want to eat?
I can't decide between the carne asada and the pollo.
all looks so good. And yes, the radishes. This is something I really do love about Mexican food. They got green onions roasted on the open flame. We got all the fixins there. How'd it taste?
It's really good.
I'm jealous. You got to eat your taco already. Well, aside from my mouth being on fire because I picked the really hot sauce, which I love, don't get me wrong, we found a new favorite drink. It's called champurrado.
It's a chocolate drink, chocolate-based milk drink, but it also has what's called masa de maize, which is a corn dough, and then they season it, they flavor it with cinnamon and anise and vanilla, and it is so good. And it's a hot drink, so it's kind of cool tonight. It's really nice to drink a warm drink. It tastes so good.
We are back from the Carnaval, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, though. I was expecting a little bit more of like a wild party atmosphere, and it was anything but that. It was a very family-oriented, wholesome carnival event with good food, some games, and families, little kids running around. Like, hey, that is a really great thing for the community. So, yeah, this is my first time ever going to a Mardi Gras type of carnival, and I had nothing, to compare it to except from what you see on TV with the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. So, it was so much fun. We had some great food. We really appreciate you joining us today, and stick around. There's more adventures from San Felipe, Mexico. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget to enjoy the ride.